Hi guys, welcome to the first lecture of C language. It is about the basic introduction of programming language. Now, as we talk about programming language, first of all, the question comes in our mind: what is language? So, in general terms, I can say that the things which we used for the communication purpose is called language. This language simply refers to human-human interaction. It is the higher level language. The language used for communication with the computer is called computer language, a lower level binary language. About the lower level language, I can tell you in a lower level language, there are codes for everything. If I want to write A, there is a specific code for it. Suppose I want to write any letter, there is a special code for it. So, there is an interpreter and compiler in this two term in this lower level language to convert the normal language to the coded language. For example, if I say add equals to 3 plus 5, or sorry, a plus b, the computer doesn't understand these terms. The computer will use a compiler or interpreter to convert these things into the coded form. Now, this is simply about the basic programming language. Basic means of the programming language, how programming language works. Now, let's go through the C, basic of C's. C. C is initially evolved from Algol and Basic, and it was developed at AT's and T's Bell Laboratory of USA in 1972. It was designed and written by a man and his group called Dennis Ritchie. So, there are certain few features, what we call it data types in the C. The data types has a specific function. For instance, for the characters, we write char, a keyword of character. Not that we had to write this thing in small only, and it consists from A to Z. The second thing comes as an integer. We have our keyword int for the integers, 1 to infinity. Not the infinity, but the specific value comes over here. And it should be integer only, no decimals. A third comes as float. Float. It is generally denoted by float only. The floating value of any integer means 0.1, 1.1, 1.2, the floating value of particular integer. For instance, take it as 0 from 0.1 to a particular value. A thing is that only decimals. Then comes the strings. It's a particular type of character only. It contains the combination of A, B, C, X, Y, Z, etc. We will talk it in later lectures. Then comes the hexa. It is a multiplication type operator. Talk it in later lectures. Then comes the octa. Then comes boolean. So this is a specific type of data. These are the initials. For character we use char and it has some value. Up to some value it can be entered. Then second comes the integer. We denote it by int. 1 to up to a particular limit. No decimal points allowed. Float. Float 0.1, 0.2 to some values. Only decimals are allowed. String is a special type of characters which we will discuss in later on the lectures. Hexa. This is simply a multiplication of the things. It is not the hexa. Octa and boolean are the same things. So now let's go through the ranges of these things. So data types first of all. Occupies some bytes. Something it represents. Now let's do the first data type. It is char. Sorry. We can denote character by short also. So it has some value. It is some range. In a particular limit we can enter it. It is from 1 to minus 128 to 127. Occupies only one byte and represent character. The second comes is unsigned character. Oops, not working. Decreasing the fonts here. So let's go to the second character, second data types. Second data type, it is unsigned characters. So now unsigned character has some its range, but it is greater than, it is always in positive 0 to 2 to 5. It occupies also only one byte and it is also represent the characters. The third thing is the integer, int. It has some value. It is from 032 768 2 plus 32767. It occupies 2 byte. When we declare the specific type of integer, it occupies 2 byte. It represents a whole number. Then unsigned integer. Its value is always in the positive. Any unsigned integer has it, any unsigned function or data type has its value always in positive. It never goes in negative. 65,532. It occupies 2 byte. And again, it represents a whole number. Then comes the long integer. It is from -214 74 386 482 plus of that value 214 74 38 647. It occupies 4 byte here. Thing to note that it occupies 4 byte. It also represents a whole number. Now, the unsigned long integer. From 0 to plus 4294967 It again occupies the 4 bytes. It also represents the whole number. Now, the next thing is for (3.4) into 10 to power -38 2. (3.4) into 10 to power plus 38. It occupies the 4 bytes and it represents the fractional value. Then comes the double. (1.7) into 10 to power minus 308 2. (1.7) into 10 to power raised to plus 308. And it also represents the fractional value. Now, these are some ranges and types of data types which occupies how many bytes, represent what. So this is the basic idea. Do not mug it up. Just look at this Later on, I will explain how it works and what it signifies. For instance, just go through it once. So again, going from the top, let us revise this lesson. This is basically about the what is programming language. So what we have discussed is the what is language. There are two types of language: higher level language and lower level language. Lower level language is also called machine language. Machine language, there is an interpreter and compiler for each and every word. For example, when I say add a plus b to the computer can't understand this language. It converts everything into codes through the help of compiler or interpreter. Now, when we talk about C language, there are some data types. The first is character, denoted by char. It can represent any character between A to Z. Second is integer, denoted by int. Only whole numbers, no decimal numbers. Float, float, only decimal numbers. String is a special type of character which we will discuss later on in the lectures. Then, I had given some ranges and the data types, what it occupies and how what it represents, what is its range. Just go through it. Hence, that's all for the first basic lecture. In the next tutorial, I will tell you how to write this first C program to print the hello world. That's it for the day. Thank you.